So I recently found this video. It's from 2018, but nonetheless, it is very relevant. Um, so this couple in New Mexico, they took in this priest into their home, Catholic priest by the name of Father Coyle, and it was revealed to this couple that this guy was a pedophile who molested 50 boys. 50 boys. And what did these parents do? Because they had a son. These parents had a son in the house. And this pedophile was staying in their home. So the father goes up to this priest and says, "You can stay here, but you got to promise me that you're not going to molest our son. Can you promise me that you will never molest our son?" I just couldn't believe this. Like, you find out that the priest that you're housing is a pedophile who molested 50 boys. 50. And you tell this guy, "Hey, could you not molest our son?" "Yeah. As long as you don't molest our son, you can stay here, okay? Even though we know that you are a serial pedophile." Anyway, I'm going to play this clip for you guys. Here we go.
The church moved Father Coyle back to...
Okay, hold on.
It wasn't a question of not believing it. We saw what was on the paper. But it was more of a, we were shocked.
Yeah.
We were shocked.
In February, Ruben and Tanya Ortiz got a letter in the mail from a Catholic diocese in a state 1,000 miles away. The words inside shattered their peace.
We had somebody in our home that was possibly dangerous.
The Ortiz family in New Mexico befriended Father Jerome Coyle more than a decade earlier. But the Diocese of Sioux City had this to say about the elderly priest they took in after a car crash. Quote, "Father Coyle admitted that for a period of about 20 years, he victimized approximately 50 schoolboys. The church now, quote, cannot condone the risk you take by allowing Father Coyle to reside in your home." Ruben and Tanya confronted the priest.
"Can you promise us that you will not harm our son?" And he said, "No." And he went into a convulsion.
8 months.
Okay, so I got to stop it there. So he tells the priest, "You got to promise me that you're not going to molest our son." And the priest says, "No, I can't promise you that." This is like a serial killer who can't stop killing. These people cannot stop being predators. They can't. And now you got this creep in your home. Just imagine it. It's like a horror movie. Imagine this. You have this creep in your house, and you think that he's this nice, good, righteous Catholic priest. You think that he's this good person. Oh, he's a priest. He hears confession. He gives the sacraments. He does funerals. He does weddings. He must be a good person because he has the sanctified hands to give the communion to the people and to be the means by which you have the bread turn into the body and blood of Jesus. And so you think this person can't be evil. I mean, you would never even think about this. It would never even come up in your mind that this person is a pedophile, right? I mean, this is how a lot of Christians are. This is how a lot of Catholics are, because they're raised in the church and they think these people are good people. And I'm not condemning Catholics for that. It's just how a lot of them were raised, and a lot of them don't know any better, and a lot of them aren't aware. I mean, they've heard about Catholic priests being pedophiles. Everyone has. But they think that it's not their priest. That's the problem. They think, "Oh, not my priest. Oh, my priest would never do that. Oh, my priest would never be a predator." No, not at all. No. And so now you have this couple who are quite, innocent. They're before finding out, they were completely unaware of what this person was. And then they find out that he molested 50 boys. And now he's in their house. Now he's in their house. And they have a son in the house. And he tells them, could you promise me that you're not going to molest my son? Which to me is insane. It's like, oh my God. It's like finding out someone in your house is a serial killer. It's like, let's say a car crash happens in front of your house and you see some guy injured and you take him into your home, you heal him. You do the Good Samaritan thing, right? You be the Good Samaritan. And you bring this person back up to health. You put them on your bed. You feed them. You do all these things. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call, or maybe you get a visit from the local sheriff, and he tells you, this guy is a serial killer. And, or, you know, the cops would arrest him. So that's not a realistic analogy. So let's say maybe someone who knows this person warns you, hey, this guy's a serial killer. And then you go up to him and you say, hey, I found out that you murdered 50 people, but could you not kill us? You know, you can stay here as long as you don't kill us. That's how crazy this is. That's how crazy this story is. It's that crazy. And it's just that in this case, you have a serial pedophile. That's the difference. But the evil is still there. And this person can't stop being a predator, just like a serial killer can't stop killing. But he says, you can stay here as long as you don't molest my son. You know, even though I know that you molested 50 other boys, just don't molest mine. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. The least that these parents could have done is called the freaking police. Hey, got a serial pedophile in the house. Come over here and get him the hell out of here. It's insane. But you know what? This is the reason why I want to show this story is it really is a demonstration of everything that I've been telling you guys about. Everything that I've been telling you guys about. That the problem is not just the clergy. It's not just the priests, the bishops, the cardinals, the archbishops. The problem is not just the Pope, even though these people definitely play their role. Ultimately, the problem is rooted in the lay people. It's the people. It's the congregants. Because congregants are either not aware and they're not even observing the evils that are entrenched within the institution of the Catholic Church. And if they do find out, or if somebody tells them about the evils in the institution, they will try to belittle it. They will try to belittle the reality of the presence of this evil. And they'll say something like, well, not my priest. No, he would never do that. Not my priest. Or they'll say something like, well, it's just a few bad apples. And then you actually look at some studies that have been done on the Catholic clergy, and you find out that almost all Catholic priests, or a huge majority of them, are actually homosexual. And the amount of homosexuality in the Catholic priesthood is about 16 times higher than that of the normal population. That's how bad it is. So, but they won't even want to look at that. It's like when I went to that church in San Antonio and I said, hey, this priest, I confronted this priest by the name of Monsignor Michael Yarbrough. And I went to his church, and the ushers of the church came up to me, and I told them, this guy sexually assaulted a young man by the name of Hector Escalante. And one of the guys told me, well, I don't believe that. And I said, well, it was published in the San Antonio Express. And he said, well, I don't care about that. He's our Monsignor. And that right there, that moment that I experienced, that was a microcosm of the entire problem in the Catholic Church. It represented everything wrong in the Catholic Church. This video that I just showed you represents everything wrong in the Catholic Church. Let's say you're naive. Let's say you're unaware. Let's say you don't know. Okay, fine. But what do you do once you know? And another question I have is, how come you don't know? How come you're not aware? How come you're not looking around yourself or looking within your own church or looking at the institution of the church to see what evils are plaguing it. Because remember what the Bible says. My people are destroyed for a lack of what? Knowledge. Bottom line. So it's not just that they don't have knowledge, it's also that they have no will to have knowledge. They have no will. They don't want the will. They don't have the will to have the will to want knowledge. And, in a way, I kind of feel sorry for this couple because they didn't know, they meant well, they were very innocent. And this experience has actually scandalized them, truly. But people will say, well, Ted, the diocese told them, so the diocese is great. The diocese is not innocent either, because I want to show you guys this article here about this priest. It says here that a Catholic diocese acknowledged Wednesday that it concealed for decades a priest's admission that he sexually abused dozens of Iowa boys, a silence that may have put other children in danger. This is the very diocese that this priest was in. The Reverend Jerome Coyle, now 85, was stripped of his parish assignments in the 1980s, but never defrocked. And it was not until this week, and this week is within October of 2018, and it was not until this week, after the Associated Press inquired about him, that he was publicly identified by the church as an admitted pedophile, even though the Diocese of Sioux City had been aware of his conduct for 32 years. So for decades, this guy was molesting boys. He molested around 50 boys. And the diocese concealed it from the public until the Associated Press began to inquire about him. So you're going to see this video that I just presented to you guys, and you're going to say, well, Ted, the diocese warned the parents. You see, the diocese is not evil, but the diocese is also evil for the fact that they concealed the evils of this guy for decades. And it wasn't until the media, the evil mainstream media, pushing the diocese on this, that the diocese finally revealed it to the public. Yes, they did tell these parents about what this guy did, but the fact also remains that it was this very diocese that was protecting him. And they put him in a retirement home. Yes, that's right, everyone. They put him in a retirement home. Because, and this is in the rest of the video, so watch this. Here, I'll fast forward it a little bit here. Right here, check this out. Check this out.
Coyle back to Iowa recently.
Hold on, rewind it a little bit.
We learned the church moved Father Coyle
to the family the extent of Coyle's past transgressions.
Wednesday, we learned the church moved Father Coyle back to Iowa recently. It put the now 85-year-old in a care facility across the street from a Catholic school in Fort Dodge. The ordeal leaves the Ortiz family in New Mexico with broken trust that may never heal.
It doesn't shake our faith in the church, but in the men of the church. We feel very...
So now they feel betrayed, which they have a right to be. They have a right to have that feeling because they were betrayed. Their faith was scandalized and ravished by the monsters who are running the institution. And the fact is that the diocese put this serial criminal, this serial pedophile, in a retirement home. Does that sound like punishment to you? That's definitely not justice. What it is the defense and the protection and the advancement of evil. And it's definitely not justice. Anyway, you guys just heard some theology. God bless.